All right, here we go. Next project on the F80 M3 is going to be a set of full coilovers. I did not do the EDC delete. I'm going to potentially code it out and see how that goes, but basically I ended up going with the ST suspension. I went with the XTAs, which is that guy right there. They are a subsidiary of KW. I don't even think I can get that to focus, but there you go. They're made by KW. Just there's some parts that they share, and there's some parts that are proprietary to the KW line. But here they are. So this is essentially what we're going to try to tackle before the snow comes. Wild weather. It's like 50 degrees. It's kind of nice out. And then here we are with that. So we're going to go ahead and put new suspension in on this, and then what we got to do first is we're going to take off 310 mils on the top cowls. So it's pretty standard. You got to get everything off again. Carbon brace 13 millimeter. There's one 10 mil that connects to the expansion tank, and then we're going to get this metal strut brace off right here. So this is a 16 mil, 2 in the center that you pop off with the caps. And then 10 sets of, I believe, E10s or E12s, but those are all these right here, and then there's a T50 right down there on each side. So basically, cows are going to come off, carbon fiber brace, it's going to come off, the coilover strut, or the strut bar, strut tower is going to come off, the EDC is going to get disconnected right here, and then the access to the coilover nuts and bolts are on the other side there. So it's going to go ahead and get started. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take the accelerator sensor off. So it's a little push right here, and then this line is just kind of in a rubber grommet here, and then there is a 16 and a T30, which is, there's a bolt right here, 16 and a T30. So I'm going to take that one out, and then a 16, I believe, here, which holds the this is a locking collar or a pinch collar, so we need to separate that and then wedge the collar free so it'll come off, and then this thing will come out. On the driver's side, I believe there's a headlight leveling sensor. So again, T30, 16 mils for the in-link. I don't know if you can see that here, but there's an in-link right here. Accelerator sensor, and then a 16 mil right here, and then and you kind of have to get a 16 wrench on the other side to hold it still, and then you wedge to break the collar free, and then this becomes loose. Okay, let's do it. We got the first one out. What we're going to do is we're going to transfer the accelerator or acceleration sensor. It's a E10. Take that out, and it is going to go here. Now, from everything I've seen, here's a collar that goes right in here, and it'll slide right in between that. The STs already come with an adjustment, a top hat, and a camber adjustment plate. So you don't need to transfer the old top hats. In fact, we're stumped a little bit because we're trying to figure out if they need the transfer or not, but here's the old bolts. They do not fit in any of these here. In fact, the STs, they supply their own bolts here for it. So we already kind of dry fitted it. This is a key So there's a perfect circle and then a little bump out right here. That tells you where it goes. I've marked off the exact holes that it lines up. I have a 3-bolt, not a 5-bolt. This would mount up to a 5-bolt, but I don't need these two here. So other than that, I'm gonna put the collar on. I'm gonna transfer the speed sensor and it'll hook into this new area right here. It's got a 10mm ready to accept it, and we should be good to go. And then we'll just drop the new one in, tighten everything up. Okay, just got the first side in. So here, these are 30 Newton meters, and then once you get them tight at 30 Newton meters, you do 90 degrees. And then for the camber adjustments, those are the T45s, I believe. Those are 17 Newton meters. And I'm running just a little bit negative camber. And then once we come down here, the in-link bolts, those 16mm in-link bolts, which are here, and yeah, it's terrible to see, but anyway, the top and bottom are 56 Newton meters. So those are the only things that really need to be torqued back up. Those are the only bolts we touched. But yeah, I mean, now we're just gonna have to play with the adjustments, which is using a spanner wrench. We can go and turn this collar, and it'll raise or lower the car. So same thing on the other side. So here's the other side. The only thing different on the driver's sides, front and rear, is that it has a speed sensor. Let's see if I can pull this over here. All right, so speed sensor, there it is. I don't know if you can see it, but let me just zoom in right there. So this is connected to the control arm. It's a 10mm. That's got to come off. If not, when this collar pops out, it will drop and sever that speed sensor, or it's a headlight adjustment sensor. So that is no bueno. But other than that, same thing. We're going to take the sensor, acceleration sensor off first. Then we're going to take the in-link 16mm and a T30, 16mm on the bottom in-link, and then on the top 13mm, 1, 2, and 3, and then drop the whole side out, put the new side up. And again, same thing, right? So here's the collar on the new one. That's just so it can fit in the wider collar. It's a skinnier setup, and then you don't have to do any transfers other than the acceleration transfer, which goes right into this tab here. So that's an E10, I believe. So yeah, it's this guy right there. So all right, well, let's get this front side done, and then we're gonna head off to the rear. But I think the rears are a little bit easier, so let's knock this out. so for the rear, obviously the tire came off. We used an 18 mil to get this bolt out right here, and then a 21 for this one. So both sides 18 front and back, 21 front and back. And then for this, make sure you do not back it out from the face of the bolt. Let me see if I can get it. Yeah, so don't back it out from this side. I was just using it to hold. Back it out from the nut, otherwise you'll strip this and then your alignment's all done. But that's about it. Now the last thing is we're gonna slowly lower this down now on the control arm. Everything should pop out. And then we're gonna get the 3 E10s here, but you gotta be careful. There's an EDC cord right here, so don't just let it fall out. You gotta unplug it there, slowly bring this out, and then we're gonna transfer this top hat to the rears. But we're gonna go ahead and get these springs out right here, get the new perch spring, and get this little piece out next, and this one should be pretty quick. So for the adjustments, this is your collar in the rear. I put a little piece of tape here.
Yep, you wanted to go one full rotation.
Yeah, and so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go one full rotation. When I measured it, it was 1/8 of a drop. So that's all I need. I think the rears are gonna get dialed in, so let's go. It is the next day, next couple of days. Ooh, sounds nice. Got the ST XTA Coilovers put in. This was a little bit of a struggle, just because I don't really know the platform, but just trying to get it adjusted. Had some issues with the rears because the collar and the lock nut was spinning at the same time, but just had to pull the whole thing out and reinstall everything, and I had to do that maybe once or twice. But other than that, man, I'm really happy with the way it's sitting. The gap is about a finger, maybe finger and a half. It's very similar to the stance I have on the Aston. So I'm gonna let the ride sit and settle for a little bit, look at any other adjustments that might be needed, and then what I'm going to probably end up doing is kind of get it dialed in a little bit more, make sure I like the ride height, make sure it feels okay when I'm actually driving, and then I'll go ahead and get BMW to do full alignment on the car. So that way everything will be settled by then, and then the alignment will be good for the new setup that I'm going to go for. But man, if you looked at the before and after, the difference is just amazing. And this thing sits extremely low, and I think it's because of this front splitter. It's way too low, but I can't really go any higher, otherwise I'll be back to where my stock ride height is. But yeah, that's it for now. I mean, this has been pretty involved, but par for the course, and finally got it dialed in. So as far as the dampening goes, I just went equal. The front is extremely easy to adjust as it's on the top hat. The rears, however, when I emailed the company, they said that the only way to really dial those in is you have to take the whole thing out again. So that's probably another reason why I'm not going to do the alignment right away. I'm going to see how it feels. I'm going to kind of rip it through the country roads, see if it's going to understeer, oversteer, and if I need to soften it up or harden it. But right now I have it dialed in 11 clicks. So I went all the way to the left, which is the softest, and then it has 19 clicks of adjustment. So I went 11 for both the front and the rear, and then I'm going to start to dial them in as we did. And that's basically the same thing I did for the Aston here. Took me about a month of trial and error, and then we got these kind of dialed in pretty good too as well. So same thing with the dampening, but also if you look at the gap, it's pretty good. So and then this bumper actually sits a lot higher off the ground, and the splitter is very thin compared to the Beamer. So other than that, it's done. Looks good. I'm gonna put the flex fuel in next, and I'll probably have to undo all the stuff I did in the hood so I can get the access, but a lot of the stuff will be underneath the car, so that's in the next one. Till then.